Uh, Hello, Philip.
Hello there.
So Lynn is stuck in a storm in Queensland, so it'll be you and me.
Oh, okay. Go good.
She's got our she's got her power gone, or maybe she's coming in actually. That's right. Let's see. Hi, Lynn. Hmm.
No.
All right, we'll get started. So today we were going to talk about the superficiality of ego. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Do you want to get started with that, and then what we'll do is we'll play a little speech of Srimataji after that, and then I'll go through the self-realization process, and you can lead the meditation to close up.
Okay. It's superficiality and ego. It's been around for a long time. It's part of the when the human being evolved and got into the ego, which brought us up to the human stage, and that's represented by the yellow line on the charts, which ends up as our ego, the left side of our head and the front of our head. And that gives us an idea of what we are. We can grow up in a certain way in a culture or wherever, and through our conditioning, which registers on our left side, our superego, of where we've come from, what we learned, what we picked up, and then it's reflected through our right side, through our ego, into superficiality means basically an artificial front in a sense of projecting ourselves wanting people to see us that way. And the beautiful thing about Sahaja Yoga after realization, the left side and right side are revealed to us, and the central channel is given through the awakening of the Kundalini, so we can actually see ourselves in a really positive way. And it's quite revealing about ourselves. The ego is important in the sense of, in its pure form, in the sense of doing things, being able to act, to make, to be, to go on. But uh, on the world scene at the moment, it's very obvious the superficiality and the ego of major players, which I won't mention any names. And we're in that era, and this is why Srimataji came in the 1970s to show us another dimension about ourselves. We went through the conditioning of superego through more coming out of the animal stage, because the animals only have a conditioning, don't have ego. We're the only thing in creation that's got an ego, which gives us that freedom and independence as prophesied. And then we moved on, became the human being, and the ego came in. And the beautiful thing about our realization is that you can feel within yourself and on your hands and on your vibrations and on your subtle system what the ego's like. And sometimes it can show you, oops, went too far there. And it like you can feel it within you of your vibrations, also how you feel within yourself. And as I said before, the ego does have a positive side to it because it gives us the ability to do, create, make, and do things. But also that can go to excess where we overdo it. It's a bit like being in the left side of ourself and being miserable and poor me sort of stuff and using that as a weapon, or going into the ego where you use that brutish sort of pushy way to get ahead and bulldoze people out of the way. So the beautiful thing about our realization, which Srimataji showed through Sahaja Yoga, that we can become the spirit, which is another step in evolution, which goes beyond the conditioning and the ego and the superficiality. The spirit is actually that permanent thing within our heart which reflects the great creator outside of ourselves in our heart. It's permanent. it's solid, soft and loving, and it goes beyond the ego as another step in our awareness. And this is promised in the sense of when they mentioned yoga, moksha, enlightenment, second birth, nirvana, all these things are mentioned over a very long period of history. And that step is to show the human being how to go above the superficiality, how to go above the ego and actually become the spirit, which is a permanent loving thing within us, which goes on. And as you develop inside yoga and the central channel becomes more manifest within us and stronger, you actually feel it in yourself and you look at yourself in a good way, and you can see where you're going. And that's a beautiful thing about Sahaja Yoga meditation and practice, is that you can look at yourself each day in your meditation, feel where you are, and find out whether you're left, right, and how it works out. And if
And how do you feel? Sorry, interrupting you, Philip. Hi.
hello, Lynn.
It might have been called the Sunshine Coast, but tonight it's the Candlelight Coast.
Candlelight, where?
Yes, we're powerless from a storm that was on earlier, but
Oh, okay.
as soon as the program started, of course, but we've still got candlelight. Uh, I interrupted you unnecessarily. However, I was going to say, how do we feel these things about ourselves? Just, it's an interesting point as well, what you're saying about you start to see all those things.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing, as I said before, when we get the Kundalini awakening, you're given that awareness of becoming your own teacher, your own master, your own guru, in the sense of you can feel within yourself how your chakras
I
are.
guess that was the thing I was looking for.
The left, and you
Feel.
find out what your left side's like, what your right side's like, and you make a judgment without being too hard on yourself. You can feel and take the positive action of meditation and Sahaja Yoga practices to balance those. If we're too superficial and egotistical, you can feel it on the right side on the hand.
Mm.
Or if you're left-sided, you feel it on your left side. But what we're dealing today is a superficiality in the ego, and that's a big thing today. And I said before, we've moved evolutionary-wise, we moved into that era a long time ago, and you can see it in the power plays that's gone over the centuries, which are quite brutal and horrible, and even today. And you can look at yourself. That's after your Kundalini awakening and give you that, and that grows and develops. And by your meditation, your thoughtless awareness, and being in the center, that shows itself to you, and you can be beautifully honest about yourself, and you can go, "Oops," or it's there to reveal to you.
And to even 40 years on, we're still going, oops.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Many of us have been in Sahaja Yoga a long time, but we
I'm sure everyone who's newly here, you're obviously more evolved in that we had to take 40 years to get to where you are.
I was still make mistakes, don't you worry. And the ego is still there, but you look at it and you can correct yourself. And if you put your foot in it, as I said before, through your meditation, you can bring down the right side, you can foot soak, you can do these practices which modify the right side, and you can look and go, oops, and you can apologize or whatever. Don't feel too guilty. That's the other extreme. But you can modify and look at yourself. It doesn't mean you're a pushover or a weak person or anything like that. That's sort of the left-sided stuff. But you're more in a center where you can look at a situation and just sort of, in a way, through your spirit, try and look at it in a positive way of being productive. And but the ego is, as you settle in, it is still there. It's still part of our character, but you have to be a bit careful in a sense of staying in the center, letting it's doing a job but not too far. It's like staying on the straight path, as they call it.
And the other thing about that, Philip, is that you don't have to worry too much about feeling what am I, where am I, what's my
No.
cat. You feel something, you think, oh, why am I feeling that? And then you
Yeah.
can kind of accordingly see
Yeah.
what it means. And it's always your own energy, your own kundalini tells you what you need to do. And it's gently. And some people just are so strong they get everything straight away and fix it. Others need it just slowly. So you'll slowly
Yeah.
come to understand something, because of all our experiences we have had and still are having perhaps
But also
it's all tailored to us individually. So amazing.
But the thing is that we have to also remember this is evolutionary step within our awareness and our development. And all the evolutionary steps have been slow. So when you get your Kundalini awakened, you have to be patient with yourself. As you said a while ago, we've been around a lot, but that, it all pops up, but you recognize it and you can go, oops. But you same time you're changing over that period. And the inside of us in the spiritual sense evolves, the chakras become better, become more balanced, and you actually feel your spirit more within your awareness, particularly in your silent meditative state. So it's a movement on, and a pleasant one all the time as you develop your thoughtless awareness, your meditation. You go along with life more in the center, and you just sail along. You know what your ego is, you know what your condition is because they're vital, they're there, but not too much. And if you find that your spirit manifests itself when you're more in that silent state, watching the Kundalini's up, the center channels developing, and it's more where you can see that in yourself more than anything, and the superficial shows itself.
Shall we go there and see that?
Yep.
Let's do it. We can have a look at the chart, Vara, and see what Philip's just been mentioning so much about the channels and where the ego is, etc. Let's look at that chart. Excellent. I mean, we had that up before, so everyone's probably aware of it.
Yeah.
But Philip, you were talking about the right side. So
Yep.
that was the yellow one.
Yellow one, yes.
The one that we're focusing on, the culmination of that yellow one being on the left side of your head, that yellow balloon. Now, that doesn't look like a balloon at the moment, but we had a busy day and had a lot of things to be proud of that we've achieved.
Yes, true, but not too proud or it gets too big. It's yellow balloon gets blown up.
Yeah.
And also, with the interesting thing with ego, it can be easily punctured if it's too big. You can get easily hurt or injured or whatever. Same with the left side.
That's another indicator that it's actually a little bit bloated up. If you react to things, it's because your balloon of ego has just been poked by somebody or something.
It's also these channels have been put in us over a long, long period of time. And when the Kundalini awakens it, this whole system comes into its being. And I was saying before, through the meditative Sahaja Yoga practice, you become to understand this. You understand your left and right side. And Srimataji has given us practices to develop this, let it evolve. But as I said before, it can take a time, but in that time you're developing, and if you feel the more of the silence, the meditation, that leads you on because it allows your head, your awareness, your thinking to be much quieter and in a more silent state. And you actually are better as this evolves. That's the beauty of it. And
yes.
It's internal thing.
Interrupting you again. Just backtracking you a little bit. So when you say in your Sahaja Yoga practice, just for the benefit of, say, somebody who's just joining us for the first time or second time or something, when we say your Sahaja Yoga practice, what is that exactly?
Well, once your Kundalini is awakened, and
so that's something also we can just point out, the Kundalini residing there in that
sacrum bone at the bottom.
Yeah.
Once that's awakened, goes up through those channels, particularly the center one, and pops out the top. That's the yoga, that's the union. When that happens, that eternal energy stays there. And when we look after it, it's like nurturing the plant. It grows into what it's supposed to be, a tree or whatever. And it develops as we meditate in a thoughtless state. And this is the thing that it's up to us to allow it to grow by meditating, letting it develop. And it's a choice we have. And if you get your awakening and feel something from it, take it up, let it develop, and you'll feel along your way the beauty of this and the advantage of it. And this is why Sahaja Yoga is no strings attached, no money involved, because this is in us, it's owed to us in evolution to improve our awareness. As we evolve through other states, this is the subtle one near the end of our evolution where we can become the spirit and it's up to us to allow it to happen. That's the important thing, allow it to happen.
Yeah. So, Philip, what about we allow that to happen? Or actually, maybe we've got an excerpt from the lady you can see here who has started all of this and taught us how to pass it on to everybody else. Sri Mataji has lectured hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands around the world. And we've got an excerpt from Hampstead, which we heard the first part last week. And this week we've got the second part of the series. And we've got about 15 minutes. It's so interesting and so sort of inspiring. Maybe we could listen to that and then go into our meditation, do the realization for those who need to catch up. What do you say?
Yep, that sounds like a good idea.
All right. So if we just be in a nice contemplative mood, we're using the elements. We've got our feet flat on the Mother Earth, so we can take our shoes off if we happen to have them on, which we probably don't have them on. Our hands are open in our lap. And you may just start to feel very peaceful and relaxed during the talk. So we'll listen now to that talk.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. The other day, I talked to you about the experience of truth, that the truth has to be felt through your central nervous system. If anything has to happen to your evolution, you have to feel it through your central nervous system. Otherwise, it is just a projection of your mind which falls off. And you are surprised at yourself. Like we call somebody as a friend, a dear friend, and one day we find there's no friendship. Maybe one day the friend may try to murder you, or you may try to murder that person. You just don't understand what happened to that love. Same thing about all our projections. We find it has no basis. It is so superficial. When we realize that all is so superficial, it has no basis, we just get frustrated. And we start thinking, what is all this? We are playing games. Why can't we be sincere? What has happened to us? Why are we so frivolous? Why are we so superficial? We may start taking interest in things which look superficially very deep, but ultimately we find it doesn't have any depth in it. And suddenly, to our horror, we discover that everything seems to be relative in this world. Nothing is absolute. So the experience of the truth has to be absolute. Means everybody should feel that way. If not, then it is something poetic. Because each poet sees the reality in a different way, describes it in a different way. But if he is a truthful poet, he keeps the essence at least the same. But when we say we have to feel the truth, by everyone in an absolute manner, What does that mean? That means when we get our self-realization, when we think we have got a new awareness of collective consciousness, that means we are connected with the whole, with the absolute, then every one of us who is like that should feel the same way. For example, there's a person who is sick, and you get 10 children who are realized souls, that we say are realized souls. Now tie up their eyes so that they cannot see at all, and ask them what centers are catching in this person. All of them will raise the same finger. This is the finger that is catching. And if you ask that person relating to that finger, have you got this trouble? He said, yes, but how do you know? How do these children know? So the truth is felt by everyone the same. Then it is absolute. If somebody sees a blue color, somebody sees a red color, then it is not the truth. And you'll be amazed when you become self-realized. If you read people who are self-realized, you'll be amazed they say the same thing in a different way, in a different cup. But they say the same thing. It is very amazing that people who were in India, who were in Lebanon, who were in China, who were in England, had nothing to do with each other, had no communication whatsoever, and they say the same thing. So, down within us, there is something that is absolute, that tells us about the absolute. So the second experience should be of absoluteness. The divine power that is all pervading, if it is truthful, if it is real, then all of us who are feeling that power through this realization should receive the same message and not different messages. This is the second proof of truth. And you put this test to anyone who says that this is self-realization. This is a very, very important thing to understand. That truth has to be one. It has to be absolute, and if you can establish your rapport with absolute, you cannot have any other information but the truth. So as you ascend in Sahaja Yoga, you start learning that whatever messages you are getting is the truth. That all these messages that you are receiving, you can yourself perceive them, can feel them. Nobody has to tell you. Even a child can say the same. So you move one step forward into the word called faith, which is the faith of experience. You call, say this, as a skill. How? How do you know it is not artificial? It is real. Because you have the experience of the artificial and the real, and now when you feel it, you can say, with faith, yes, it is real skill. In the same way, reality can be only accepted if you go through the experience of truth and then have faith in it. Human mind is a very wonderful mind. The English word mind doesn't explain much, though, what mind means. But in Sahaja Yoga, it has been very clearly explained what human mind is. Here, as you see very clearly, that on top of the head where you see a lotus. People say, how can there be a lotus on top of her head, mother? This sounds very poetic and something fantastic. And it's a fantasy. It's symbolic, of course, to express something. Of course, I wish everybody had that lotus blooming. But very few have it. But still they have, no doubt. Now this one, when you see the lotus, before that, if you see the brain, in Sahaja Yoga, is just shown as a hollow thing. There's nothing like brain shown there. But there are two, blue, here shown blue, deep blue, and the yellow. Somebody should show. John, will you come? Somebody. Two balloon-like structures in the brain. Now, when the first balloon only existed, when we were just animals, our brain was flat. So was the Himalaya. Himalaya represents our brain in the gross life. So the Himalaya was also flat, our brain was also fat. Then man started hitting with branches. If the animals attacked them, they learned how to hit back. And another line started, which we call as the sun line, by which the another side started developing. And the brain got transformed into a new formation of a triangle. This triangular brain now is like a pyramid, I see, and sometimes I find it's swollen very much more on one side. Bit too much. So all our problems started from that point, where we decided that we can do it. We have to do it. And when we started doing it that way, this yellow stuff, which we call as ego, started pushing the superego in such a manner that the brain became a prism-like structure. But it was important to create this prism. Of course, with this, Himalaya also developed a triangular structure. It was very important that it should have happened in the human brain, that we had developed this ego within ourselves. We could have avoided it if we had not committed the mistake at the stage of Adam and Eve, but we did commit. So now we have it. And that short circuit got elongated, and our evolution started going on a different line, where we wanted to find out ourselves what is the truth. So the journey started. I started moving so fast that we remained in the state of a balloon alone, nothing else but a balloon that existed. So we became nothing but balloon floating superficially. The balance was lost completely. And the whole problem has started with this balloon. That we can put in the effort, we can find the truth, we can discover this. Like one scientist was forced by a king in Dresden and was imprisoned, and he was told that you should try to create gold out of mercury. Poor fellow, he tried his level best, he could not. But in the result, he found out how to make beautiful china. That's exactly what has happened to human beings. In the search of truth, we have discovered everything else but the truth. Because truth you cannot discover. As I told you the other day, it is a state that one has to achieve to receive the truth, to know the truth. इधर ले आइए इधर आज
That's a nice point we've reached. So, Philip, would you like to take us through to achieve that state?
Okay.
Just to start our meditation off.
Yes.
We can go through that self-realization process that many of us have done before, but just for the benefit of somebody who might not have gone through it. And it's always nice to do it again and again.
It helps to do it again. It helps our attention. So we feet on the floor, no shoes, hands open on our lap. We leave our left hand open on our lap, put our right hand on our heart. And we ask the question, am I the spirit? Because this is fundamental to our existence. We are this. So we can ask that question, am I the spirit? It's in our heart. It's that eternal part of ourself. Am I the spirit? Now take our right hand down to the left-hand side of the stomach, of the navel. There's a center here which has a quality of being our own teacher. This is where we ask that question. Am I my own master? Am I my own teacher? So this is what we have to become to understand ourselves. And this is the beautiful knowledge about this, which comes from Srimataji and Saj Yoga. Am I my own teacher? Am I my own teacher? Now take that right hand down to where the leg joins onto the body. This is the center of creativity within us. It's to do with knowledge. And we ask the question, am I the pure knowledge? Because we have to obtain this knowledge to understand ourselves and where we are and what we are. Am I the true knowledge? It's a beautiful, benevolent knowledge, which is the best thing for us. Am I the true knowledge? We can also answer that question by saying, yes, I am the true knowledge. And to understand that that is in us, we have to come to know it. I am the true knowledge. Now back up to the left-hand side of the navel. And here we can verify the fact that I am my own master, I am my own teacher. Once again, we have to become that. The potential is there through Kundalini awakening and our development. I am the true knowledge. And it's on our subtle system we come to understand that true knowledge, which has been, once again, for our benefit. I am the true knowledge. I am my own teacher. Back up to the heart. And here we can verify that I am the Spirit. We need to feel that, understand it, and have it as a major part of our character, that it's there, solid and beautiful. I am the Spirit. Basically, it's the indestructible love that is in our heart that has to manifest. I am that. I am the pure Spirit. Our right hand up to where our neck joins onto our shoulder, on the left-hand side, and here we're affected if we feel guilt. And here we can say, whatever has happened, I am not guilty. Because guilt holds us back. I am not guilty. I am not guilty. We take that right hand to the back of our head. This is where our superego sits. It's where our past is lodged. I forgive myself. That releases us and helps the past become much more subtle and softer. I forgive myself. Because what has happened has happened. We just have to let it go and forgive ourselves, whatever may have happened. We take that right hand to our forehead. This is where our ego sits. And here we forgive everyone. One of our great qualities is forgiveness. It allows us all to be equal and with each other. I forgive everyone. It softens our ego and it softens our conditioning. I forgive everyone. I forgive. We place that right hand on the top of our head and just gently massage that area. This is our top chakra, our lotus, our crown, our halo. And here we ask for the yoga. We request the Kundalini, the mothering energy, Please give me my yoga. Please give me my self-realization. And if we have been practicing Sahaja Yoga, please establish my self-realization. Please open my Sahasrara. Give it a gentle massage. We can take our right hand back to our lap and take our right hand and run it up, following the spine up the front of the body. And by doing this motherly energy, the Kundalini, responds. She's intelligent. And we lift her and make her stronger. Do that several times, allowing her to do her work. That's why she's there. Feel at the top of the head. A cool breeze should be there as a sign that she's broken through, that the yoga has happened. Take our right hand back to our lap and just keep our attention on the top of our head with our eyes closed just for a few minutes. Keeping our attention on the top. Just let it float. Let our attention float up to the top. No pressure on ourselves. Just let it go up there. If the attention does wander, just say, I forgive. Then take the attention back up to the top. I forgive. We can open our eyes. Just take our right hand again. Just gently lift the Kundalini again. She's placed within us so she can be awakened. She's there for a reason. That's to give us our yoga, our moksha, our second birth. Feel at the top again. She has the quality that she's cool. Same time, you may feel cool vibrations flowing in your hands as a signal that she has awakened. And also you may be feeling quieter, much more meditative. That's the beauty that she gives us.
And we can strengthen that central channel and feel the meditation a little more strongly if we bring our attention and cool off the right side that side that we've been acting with that makes that yellow balloon. If we bend the left hand with our palm facing behind and the right hand is open on your lap. So just try and feel that heat flowing out through the left hand into the atmosphere. And when we're doing this in our own time during the week, we can just simply ask Mother Nature, Mother Kundalini, please cool off my right side. Please absorb any overactivity, anything that's blowing up my balloon of yellow ego. And in a few moments, we'll put the hand back down, and maybe Vara will play a little bit of music for us, which we can just listen to through that top chakra that Philip has just taken us to with our first meditation of enlightenment. So just bringing that left hand, both hands are in your lap. You can do that exercise Philip just showed us of bringing the hand through the central channel up on top and keeping your attention up there where your hand is, where you're feeling the cool or trying to feel the cool there. As you practice it, you'll feel it and identify it more and more. Keeping your attention there and just letting the music take you higher into that meditative state. And as Philip mentioned, anytime you feel a thought pops in or you lose your attention, just take that right hand through the central channel, encouraging your own mother energy to take you back up onto the top of your head. You can also follow your breath. So when you're desiring for that silence, you feel it through your heart. In-breath swells your heart. The out-breath takes you up to that top energy center, the 1,000-petaled lotus chakra. And just in your own time, opening your eyes. And as always, we finish our meditation by raising our Kundalini with our hands and giving ourselves a protection against any outside influences that disturb our peace. So it's called raising your Kundalini and putting yourself in Bandhan. So that's the description of the movement we're going to do just now with our hands. So we're raising our Kundalini with our hands. Is my sound on? Yes. So the left hand is raising up and the right one is winding round. So we start at our lower tummy, and then we go all the way up to that top chakra and tie a knot. We do that 3 times. Second time, really be aware of how you're feeling when you do this. And then the third time, because we have 3 energy channels that we utilize in our life, 3 knots. And then you've got lovely vibrations flowing in your hands, and you're going to protect yourself with those. So you're starting with the right hand from the left side, going over to the right side, and going back again. So it's like a nice rainbow over your body. And we'll do 7 times over and back, because we have 7 energy centers, chakras we call them. And just be aware of that lovely flow of vibrations going over your body. And so this is your shortcut way to start your meditation. So we don't need to go through, must be 7 because Philip stopped. You don't need to cheating, right? You don't need to go through all of the affirmations, although when we're all together and we do that, it's very powerful. But you can simply raise your Kundalini, put yourself on Bandhan, and sit for your meditation. And those of you who are, which is probably most of you, in the WhatsApp groups, we've got lovely meditations made by yogis that we post for you to do a little 10-minute meditation, led one if you so desire. And there's some lovely little meditations and talks. So you're most welcome to participate in those at your own leisure, at your own time. But look forward to seeing you live again each week. And we will have another session next week. And then we're going to have a summer break, imagine. For those of you in winter, bear with us. But if you have any interesting feedback or questions, feel free to use the chat down there in the Zoom. Philip is just dying to answer any questions.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, whatever questions, yes.
But that was a lovely meditation with you all, that's for sure. So
That's good.
yeah, when we're all together doing that meditation, it's pretty special. So any feedback? Get this out of the way. Put the chat up. I think we can all chat, can we, Vara? We've got our chat. I think we can chat. And if you prefer to speak your chat too, just you can also unmute and do that. But in the meantime, we had a big storm here. That's why I'm on the laptop, hotspotted to my phone because the power's gone out. And interestingly, Philip, the storm stopped as soon as the program started. So that was nice. Mother Nature just, takes
She's there. She's there.
And for some reason, I needed to have lots of candles on here. I was saying at the start, it's the candlelit coast tonight.
Oh, okay.
Well, the power's off, that's it. But maybe we put some music on if people would like to meditate a bit longer. What time? But yeah, we're pretty much on time, so that's good. You with us there, Vara? Well, Philip, how was your day?
Oh, good. Yes. No, it's beautiful though. You
How's
can't.
your weather in Canberra nowadays?
Yeah, it's a sort of a thing that if you meditate each morning, it just makes your day. This is something that for new people or people to be practicing, well, just keep it up and you'll feel the beautiful results if you haven't felt already. Do it each day and be patient with yourself. Take your time and let it evolve, and you feel a bit of benefit.
Lovely interview. Thank you, Vara. So at this point, we say bye-bye to everyone on YouTube, and we'll carry on for a little bit and have an answer to your questions. But I think we say bye to our YouTube friends. Good night, and feel free to meditate. Music for a bit. So we'll